Hey pals, welcome back. So, quick life update. After 5 years of living here, I'll soon be moving out of this apartment into a much bigger place, which is obviously super exciting, but also a little sad. Pretty much all the content on my channel up to this point has been filmed in this space, and even though I desperately need more room for filming content, I'll really miss living here. Anyway, while I've been getting ready to move out and making plans for the new house, I've been reflecting on some of the tech that's made the biggest impact on my quality of life. Having the right tech products can make a massive difference to your comfort and convenience, and there's a lot more to smart home devices than just voice-controlled light bulbs. So in today's video, I'm going to show you some of the tech that's actually made a difference in my daily routine and improved my quality of life as a result. As always, there's links for everything down in the description. Let's get into it. The first piece of tech I want to talk about is actually what starts my day. Now that I'm 30, I've really started to appreciate the importance of a good night's sleep. So since the start of this year, I've been using the 8 Sleep Pod 3. This is effectively a temperature-controlled mattress cover that can heat and cool to maintain a comfortable environment and measures various health metrics to assess and improve the quality of your sleep. I've seen a lot of endorsements for 8 Sleep from various health experts and professional athletes, but I was really keen to evaluate the pod based on its hardware capabilities and app experience so that I could share my own perspective as a tech enthusiast. So inside the box you get the cover itself, along with a separate unit which is what controls the system. It's pretty straightforward to set up. After you download the app, it gives you a series of instructions to follow, which basically involves filling the water tank a few times and sharing a bit of information about your sleeping habits and preferences. I prefer a cooler sleeping environment, otherwise I tend to overheat, whereas my partner likes it pretty toasty. So one of the best things about the pod is that each side can be independently controlled, which can definitely help minimize thermostat conflicts. I have noticed the system struggles when there's big variances in each user's settings, so I wonder if there's a bit of temperature bleed when water is traveling through the tubes. But there is now an updated model which supposedly has better cooling performance, so might be something to keep in mind. Part of the reason why I've waited so long to talk about this is because I wanted to see how well it would work during the warmer months. In case you didn't know, we don't really do air conditioning here in the UK, but there's usually a couple of weeks during the summer which can be pretty brutal. But I'm happy to report the pod genuinely makes a big difference to sleep quality and comfort. We usually swap our winter bedding over to something a bit more lightweight when it starts to get hotter, but we didn't even bother this year, and after looking back at my health app to compare the data, I've apparently been getting about an extra hour of sleep every night since we started using the pod. So all sounds really good, but there are some areas I would improve. The daily reports give you a nice summary of your sleep quality, but it doesn't really give you any insights based on that data. I'm not always sure how to interpret the information it shows me, and I'd love to know how I should structure my day or adjust my workout routine to make the most of my energy levels based on my health metrics. It's a nice looking app, but it all just feels a bit surface level, and I think anyone who cares enough about their sleep quality to spend this much on a mattress cover is probably going to be interested in having a deeper level of understanding of their health data. Speaking of price, it's expensive. It's not easy to recommend this, especially when you also need to pay a monthly subscription to make use of the automatic adjustment features, which does feel a bit cheeky to me. Despite this, I do really like it. It is very good, but I can obviously appreciate the price is going to be a sticking point for a lot of people. Anyway, that was a lot, so let's move this along. Up next is my robot vacuum. Having a clean and organized living space has become pretty on brand for my channel, but I don't always have the bandwidth to keep on top of housework, so this has actually been a big help when things get a bit busy. There's a surprising amount of choice when it comes to robot vacuums, but when your brand name becomes synonymous with a product, it's usually a good indicator of who's doing it best. So I'm using the Roomba J9 Plus from iRobot. It's not the most sophisticated product I've ever used. It maps out your living space by effectively headbutting its way around each room, and I've had to rescue it from getting stuck on the curtains a fair few times now, but it's hard not to love this thing. Watching it absolutely send itself over furniture is honestly hilarious, and you can't help but attach a personality to it. That being said, it does actually fulfill its main purpose really well. It takes about an hour to do a full sweep of my 2-bed apartment, and while it's not quite as thorough as just doing it myself, I'd say that it probably manages to achieve 80 to 90% of the same result, which is definitely good enough for daily cleaning. I haven't had any issues with battery life, and the suction is powerful enough to lift dust and debris off the floors without leaving anything behind. The internal bin is also self-emptying, which is a nice feature, so when it finishes the job, it'll return to the charging base to get rid of everything it's just picked up, which gets sucked into a separate disposable bag. The app allows you to set cleaning schedules so you can align it with your routines and automatically start vacuuming at specific times of day or just whenever you leave home, which is pretty cool. It's always nice to come home to a clean space. One of my favourite things about the J9 Plus is that it's also compatible with voice assistants, and you can be quite specific, so I can literally just tell it to start cleaning the kitchen if I accidentally spill coffee grounds or something, and it just knows what to do. So yeah, I think this product is wicked and way more helpful than I thought it would be. Speaking of voice assistants, if you're planning on creating a connected home setup, then I would highly recommend getting a smart speaker for every room so you don't have to shout just to turn the lights off. In my opinion, it makes sense to consolidate this in rooms where you might already have a speaker, so the next product on my list is the Sonos Beam. I've used a number of different audio systems over the last few years, but this is by far the best bang for the buck option if you're looking for a Wi-Fi enabled soundbar. The audio quality is excellent, the design looks super premium, and it supports both Google Assistant and Amazon Alexa, so it can be easily integrated into an existing system. Whether it's streaming music, connecting to other devices in your smart home ecosystem, or even just basic tasks like asking your voice assistant to set a timer, these soundbars do so much more than just enhance your TV viewing experience. Of course, if you did want to take your audio even further, you can add other products from the Sonos ecosystem, like a subwoofer to extend the bass response, or by connecting a pair of Ace headphones to make use of the excellent TV audio swap feature. The living room is one of the most active parts of the home, where people go to be entertained and socialize. So choosing something like the Beam over a cheap smart speaker, which usually sound pretty terrible, definitely makes a lot of sense here. The Beam was one of the first big tech purchases I made when I moved into my own home, and I really think you'd struggle to find a better overall experience for the price. I've now moved on to the bigger and more capable Sonos Arc, but for most people who are just looking for an upgrade over the speakers built into their TV, I think the Beam is the way to go. I just think it's a great product. Voice assistants are super convenient for providing quick answers and helping with simple tasks, but they definitely work best when used with other connected devices in your home. So up next we have my smart blinds, which are Wi-Fi enabled and can therefore be operated by voice control. These are part of the Fyrtur range from IKEA, so they should be pretty widely available, and since they're battery operated, you also don't need a professional installation, which is pretty great. I don't think I've ever actually talked about these on the channel before, even though I bought these quite a long time ago, and they've kind of been the unsung hero of my apartment. I usually start my workday by asking my voice assistant to open all the blinds in the morning after I've gotten dressed, and then I also have them set to automatically close at sunset for privacy in the evenings. The battery lasts for about 6 months on a single charge, so aside from the initial setup, they're super low maintenance. Obviously they're not the prettiest, so they might not be for everyone, but if you're not picky about fitting a certain aesthetic, these are honestly a huge time saver over manual blinds, and I can't see myself going back. Speaking of time savers, well, this one's technically cheating since it's actually my parents' house, but that's only because I wasn't able to get it installed at my place, and I figured it'd be more useful to me there than just sitting in a box till we moved. So this is the Andersen A2. It's a premium wall charger for electric vehicles that not only has a really sleek design that hides the cable when not in use, but also has Wi-Fi enabled features, which means you can control the charger remotely and set charging schedules to make the most of cheaper energy tariffs during off-peak hours. After buying an electric vehicle, one of the first things you'll need to figure out is how you're actually going to charge your new car's batteries. Most come with a portable connector that lets you plug into a regular wall socket, however a full charge using this can take over 24 hours, which isn't really an ideal solution unless your daily driving is made up of shorter distances. Having a dedicated charge point offers a much more convenient option, and the A2 has some really nice additional features like lighting inside the cabinet to help you see at night, and also has an IP65 waterproof rating so it can be cleaned easily and safely. Andersen makes a wide range of different colours and finishes, allowing you to create a personalised design for your charger. I thought it was really cool because it allows you to match the cabinet to your front door or garage and looks way more premium than some of the other options out there. I kept it simple with this blacked out look, but I do really like some of the other options that are available, so it'd be cool if you could buy extra front plates to change the look of your charger later. However, as far as I know, this isn't currently an option. The Andersen A2 uses a standard CCS connector and is available in 5.5 meter and 8.5 meter variants. Even though it costs more, I definitely recommend going for the longer version. It's just a bit easier to live with as it gives you an extra car length of cable, and it means you won't have to do the driveway reshuffle. In regards to the charger's smart features, the app has a nice UI and helps you to keep track of charging stats, but could probably do with a bit more functionality. There's not many opportunities to create automations, and you have to do a lot of things manually like inputting your energy rates and locking the charger after you use it. Still, simply having access to a 7 kilowatt charger has made living with an EV easier, and it definitely beats using the portable connector. So there we go. Those are some of the smart home products that have actually improved my quality of life over the last few years. Probably goes without saying, but I'm going to be quite busy with moving soon, although I do have one final video planned while I'm living in this space, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already so you don't miss that. Either way, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.